Hi everyone, I'm Heather and thank you for joining us for another Homeschool Live. Today we'll be hearing from Sheri Browning of KPU. Please share this video with your friends, post it in any homeschooling groups that you're in, and always please comment with any questions you may have. We're going to be talking to a homeschool-friendly college. They are willing and looking to accept homeschoolers, so come and check it out. And if you have any questions for Sheri during the interview, please leave them in the comments section. And now I'd like to introduce Sheri Browning. Sheri helps prospective students learn more about KPU. She helps them get started with the application process, guides them along the journey of starting post-secondary education, and she is just there to help them. And not only does she help them, but she is taking classes and working towards a Public Relations Diploma, which I'm excited to hear more about that too. Yeah. Hi, Sheri. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, nice to be here today. Thank you for having me. I can go ahead and get started and give a little bit of information about KPU if we would like to get started with that.
Sure. I would love for you to tell us more about everything that you have to offer.
All right. So what we'll do is, we'll go back to the front there. So that's our homepage there. It's we're here to help you discover what is possible at KPU. And when you decide to attend KPU, I can help you get started with the application process like you did say before. So that's always my job. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to just come on in and have a chat with me. And I'm just going to get myself going here, make sure.
And I just want our audience to know this college is located in Canada, but you do accept applicants from the US, I imagine.
We definitely do. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we definitely accept applicants from all over the world. And we are a university, which is a great, exciting thing for us. So we're a little university, a little bit bigger than a college, but definitely a university, and we will accept students from all over the world.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I think we'll go ahead to the next slide and get started there. So the next slide is our territorial acknowledgement. Yeah, that's the one. There we go. So that one there, what we do when we do presentations with KPU is we always go through a territorial acknowledgement. So we just share that with everyone. So I'll go through that quickly today. So Kwantlen Polytechnic University's 5 campuses are situated in a region that overlaps with the traditional and ancestral lands of the Coast Salish people. We thank them for sharing their land and resources with us in friendship and peace. We honor our name, which the Kwantlen First Nation has graciously shared with us. Kwantlen means tireless runner, and we strive to always be tireless in our pursuit of knowledge and understanding. So that picture that you can see there on the screen, that is just a picture of our Langley campus. So that is located in one of our cities called Langley, and that is just outside, and that's some artwork that's been done by someone named Brandon Gabriel. And then we can go ahead to the next slide. And that would be just outside of our Surrey campus. So that's our library, and this is part of our recruitment team. So I am on the recruitment team for the Future Students Office. So again, like I said, I do help students with applications and getting the process started. And then if you have any questions for any of us, we're excited to let you know that we are available virtual for appointments, and we do take phone appointments too. And then a lot of our campuses are also taking in-person appointments too. So we're really excited about that not everything is just still virtual.
Right.
So back exciting. In person. Yeah, and that's just part of our recruitment team, and we're always here to help. So if you have any questions for us, you can always look us up on the homepage, and a set of our colleagues and their timetables and schedules will be there if you needed to make an appointment with us, which is really exciting. So just feel free to reach out at any point on the website. So it's kpu.ca, and it's Future Students Office.
Awesome.
And then we'll go to the next slide. So at KPU, we do have 7 faculties. I'll just wait for you to go up there if you want. Pull it to the next one. Yeah, so that's a picture of our different faculties. So we have 7 faculties at KPU, and our 7 faculties, when I say the word faculty, I kind of mean like a big umbrella, and the programs that are similar to that faculty will fit underneath it. The first one that you can see there on the screen, that one is called the Faculty of Academic and Career Preparation. And that's a program, faculty that you will find programs like English language studies. So if you needed to work on your English language skills, you can definitely take some classes there. And then we also have upgrading programs for students. So sometimes students come to us and they haven't completed a high school diploma, and they can do that in this faculty.
Oh,
They can
wow.
also upgrade lots of different classes that may need to be taken throughout their curriculum at KPU in different programs. So they can upgrade math, science, and English as well. And then we have our Faculty of Arts, and that is where you'll find lots of programs that you can see on the screen there. We'll go through those ones too. Actually, we can just move on to the next screens, which explain the faculties a little bit more. So that's the one I talked about already. So that's the Faculty of Academic and Career Preparation. And then we'll move to the next one, which is the Faculty of Arts. And so that's where you'll find lots of different things like criminology, psychology. We have creative writing. We also have a popular program called Education Assistant. So that's where students can become an assistant to a teacher in a classroom, helping students with disabilities or needs. And then we have lots of popular programs like journalism and sociology, political studies, lots of good stuff there. And then we'll move over to the Melville School of Business. So when you are in the Melville School of Business, you have lots of opportunities to take programs such as accounting, business management. We have something called information technology. So if you like to work with computers, that's one for you. And then the one that I'm taking is called Public Relations. So that is a diploma program. I'm interested in communications and events and all kinds of great things like that. So I would take this public relations diploma. It's kind of helping me out with my future career goals. In the School of Business, the great thing is we have lots of co-op opportunities. And so if you were to take a program with us, you can go into that program, start your studying, and then have the opportunity to earn money and learn at the same time. So you can have some work experience and get paid while you're studying too. So it's not just about learning, it's all about that practical hands-on skill. That is what Kwantlen stands for. So the Polytechnic in our name is hands-on practical skills. So you'll definitely get that supportive, collaborative work environment when you take classes at KPU, and our co-op is just one of those representations of practical learning. And then the next faculty that we have is our Wilson School of Design. So that is next screen. Great. And that is lots of different programs there that you can take. So we have our fashion and technology program. We have fashion marketing, foundations in design, graphic design for marketing, interior design, product design, and tech apparel. And those programs are all held at our Richmond campus. So that's one of our cities too out here. And that is a beautiful newer building out in Richmond where the Wilson School of Design hosts all of those programs in that faculty. And then we have the Faculty of Health. So this is always a popular area here. Lots of students want to become nurses, and so they want to start with us. The Faculty of Health is held at our Langley campus. You can see we do have a few other options there too. So we have something for nurses that have been internationally educated. So we have the Graduate Nurse Internationally Educated program. We also have healthcare assistant, and then nursing and psych nursing too. We also have a neat program called Traditional Chinese Medicine and Acupuncture. So if you're interested in that, that's a diploma program we have too. And then we'll move over to the Faculty of Science and Horticulture. So just as the name suggests, lots of science type programs there and horticulture. So we have biology, chemistry, health sciences. We have something called general science, just to name a few of the science type programs. And then when you're taking horticulture, that's going to be some specialization. So it might be something like landscape horticulture or horticulture in general, sustainable agriculture, plant health, all sorts of good things like that. So that all falls under our Faculty of Science and Horticulture. And then last but not least would be our Trades and Technology faculty. So that is held at a campus called Tech for short. So it's Trades and Technology campus, and that's in Cloverdale. So that's another one of our little cities out here. And that is where you would find a lot of the trades programs. So that particular campus is trades only. So things like appliance servicing, automotive, welding. We have a program for taking care of horses and learning to make horseshoes, and that's
Wow.
called Farrier Science. And then, of course, we have a lot of the other popular ones like plumbing and millwright, and then metal fab is also another popular trade that we have at
Love
KPU.
that.
Yeah. So that's just a little bit about us at KPU. We do have those 7 faculties and over 140 programs. And again, it's going to be that hands-on practical learning. So if you're interested in any of these programs, you can feel free to ask your questions now if you'd like, or reach out, of course, again, on those different ways I told you could reach out before.
Well, this is awesome. So I just want to clarify a few things. So all of your different campuses, are they all in the same province, or are you named the areas, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Canada very well.
I can say some of the cities, but if you're not sure, then yeah. So they are all in the same province. It's British Columbia is the province that they're in. And so if you're not sure where that is, if you've ever heard of maybe Vancouver, we're kind of a few cities outside of Vancouver.
Okay, awesome. And I would love if you could touch on the teaching approaches used at KPU. It sounds like you mentioned that you're very hands-on. Is there a certain way that you would like to describe how your instructors go about teaching your students there?
Yeah, so our teachers are passionate about the programs that they're teaching. They're usually industry experts, so they come from the area that they're teaching, and they believe in that supportive and practical hands-on skills. So when you take a class with us, it's not just going to be sitting down and studying or listening to lectures. You're going to get that. Maybe you'll get some lecturers that come in and talk to you, maybe some experienced guests that come in. Perhaps the instructor themselves has some previous experience and can relate to the class and tell stories. And then you're going to get that hands-on. So an example would be if you were to take a counseling class with us at KPU, you're not just sitting and learning about counseling and what counselors do. You're going to be with your classmates, and one is going to be the patient and one is going to be the counselor, and you're going to do some mock times where you're sort of figuring out how to become a counselor, and it's very hands-on rather than just sitting and listening all the time. It's more practical, supportive learning.
I love that. And I feel like this generation, that they could really use that hands-on. I mean, I know a lot of my kids, they appreciate the hands-on approach. A lot of the homeschool families watching, they would love to send their kid to a school that had the hands-on approach. And I love that there's your trade faculty there.
Yes.
I think that's interesting for a university to have that. I mean, when you said farrier, I think that is incredible. I normally wouldn't think of that as at a university, and I think that is an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, it's a popular program. We have lots of students that join us there, and so they learn to take care of horses, and it's actually on campus. The horses come to campus, and they learn how to make the horseshoes, and it's a fantastic program. It's quite popular with those students that do enjoy working with horses.
Wow. You mentioned, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead.
I would love if you could touch on the types of degrees. You mentioned specific degrees, but I would love if you could mention if they're associates, bachelor's, master's. What are your students going to graduate with?
Yeah, so at KPU, there's a number of different ways that you can gain a credential with us. So if you want to gain a credential with us, it may come as a certificate, which is usually about a year's worth of education. So when I say a year, it's 30 credits. A student usually may take 3 to 4 classes a semester, and that can be done in a year at KPU. So if you were to take a certificate program worth 30 credits, you may be attending for about a year. And if you take 1 or 2 classes, it will take you a little bit longer, but that's just sort of a kind of a guesstimate that we usually give students. So we have the certificate programs, and then you can move up the ladder and you can go into a diploma program. A lot of our programs have certificates and diplomas, and a diploma is 60 credits and approximately 2 years. And then our degree program, so that's 120 credits and approximately 4 years. We do have a few programs that are called post-baccalaureates and graduate programs, but at this time, we don't have master's programs at KPU. So we do go as high as the post-bacs and graduate programs, but we don't have the master's programs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have dual enrollment options for high schoolers? I know a lot of our high school families love to have their student taking college classes while they're in high school. Is that an option at KPU?
That is an option at KPU. Yeah, we have some things called dual credit and concurrent studies. So when a student wants to use those credits for high school and KPU credits, they can do that in their grades 11 or 12 year. What they would do is just contact our dual credit coordinator, make sure they've talked to their careers counselor, their families, make sure they've got that support started as well as their high school support. And then they can definitely start with us in their grade 11 or 12 year. They can use those credits towards graduation steps. And then also if they want to come to KPU in the future, they've already got a head start with us.
Wow. So those credits would transfer if you did them as a dual enrolled student and then you want to get like a bachelor's or associates, that is awesome. And can you do that online or is that only on campus?
Most likely it's going to be on campus. We do have some online options, of course, for classes. The dual credit concurrent studies are more of an in-person type program.
Right. I was thinking since they're very hands-on school. That makes sense.
Yeah. Another great thing about our classrooms is that they are maximum 35 students. So I know lots of schools, and this is one of the reasons that I take classes at KPU, not only because I work there, it's nice and convenient, but it is also the small classroom size that I enjoy. So that's something that students that are transitioning out of high school or homeschool, it's a smaller classroom size. It makes it a little bit of an easier transition to get into the post-secondary rather than that big lecture hall of lots of students and kind of getting lost in the crowd.
Right. That's awesome. I was wondering if you could touch on how affordable KP is. I know all colleges have a different way of approaching finances. How do you guys approach it?
Yeah, so depending if the student is domestic or international, their tuition may vary a little. So for a domestic student, usually a course with us will be about $520. So if you're looking at taking a degree program with us and you're a domestic student, it usually varies out to about $20,000, just a little over for that 4-year degree program. If you're an international student, it does go up a little bit. It kind of goes up significantly, but you can definitely talk to our international department too about how to start planning out those courses and what that tuition might look like.
Okay, that's incredible because when I went to college, it was $20,000 a year, not for a degree.
Yeah.
So that is for anybody who's just starting to navigate the college waters for your kids. This is an incredible deal. And it sounds like, do you charge per course when you're paying? Do the parents or the students pay per course, per credit, per year?
Yeah, so when a student registers for a course in a semester, they're paying for that course only. So it just depends on how many courses they register for in a semester. So there's nothing up front. The only thing that will cost money up front is going to be the application fee and then a deposit to say that you're confirmed that you're going to start with us. But great thing is that deposit goes towards your first semester's tuition and you only pay that deposit once. So you'll pay the tuition usually about the second or third week of classes, and you're only paying for the semester of classes that you register for. And then in your next semester, if you register for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 classes, then you'll only pay for that semester again.
I feel like this really will help students not get into debt so much because they're focusing on what they're doing at the time. Yeah. They're focusing on the now, and I think it's an incredible method that you're using.
Yeah, it's a nice, easier way to kind of get through. We do understand post-secondary is very expensive, and there's lots on top of that too to go with, having to figure out where you're going to live. If you're staying close by, do you need transit? What textbooks do you need? So of course it's very expensive. Lots of costs go into it, and lots of thought has to be planned out for that.
Can you share if you offer any scholarships? I know you mentioned a little bit for international students, but do you have any others you could talk about?
Yeah, we do have scholarships at KPU. So when students are in their high school years, they can apply for entrance scholarships. So we have lots of scholarships for students coming straight out of high school. There are deadlines to apply to those scholarships, and there is lots of money to be given away. So we have The President's Entrance Scholarship is about $20,000, and then we have 6 of those. And then we have a various amount of other different scholarships that students will apply once to the program, to the scholarship program, and then their application goes towards all the different scholarships that we have. As a student, you can also apply for many awards and scholarships while you are a student. So it doesn't stop in the beginning, it keeps going. So there's lots of different ways to earn money as a student too. And we have grants and all sorts of things that you can talk to about with our financial aid department.
Right. Do you find that a lot of your students are working while they're going to school, or do they generally just focus on their studies at the time?
I think it varies a lot. I think it depends on if the student has received financial aid. I know as a student that receives a student loan, they need to have at least 3 classes a semester in order to have that student loan. So some students do work and then kind of schedule their classes flexibly around whatever their work schedule is or their other commitments. I do see a lot of students that do work and take classes. And then I know that some students who go up to that 5 classes a semester, they're more focused on the school and getting it done and over with. And those students sometimes will take a semester off and earn some money over that semester, like summer perhaps, and then come back to school for those other classes to keep it going.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who are considering it, they're thinking about it, they're homeschool mom or a student, and they're thinking, okay, how do I apply? What do I do? What are your entrance requirements?
So most of our programs at KPU, you only need to have had an English grade 12 class, and you need to graduate from high school or have graduation status. And so students that want to apply to many of our programs just need to have that English set up. If they're applying to some of our programs that are called limited intake, those programs may have additional requirements. So for example, some of our trades programs or fashion programs, our design programs may have additional requirements like a portfolio, or they might need a math, or they might need a reference letter, something like that. But generally, most of our programs is just going to be English and graduation status. If a student hasn't graduated, then what needs to happen is they will be 19 years of age or older when they apply, and then they would be considered a mature student with or without graduation.
And you mentioned earlier that it sounds like it would be for the mature student. You offer an opportunity for them.
Oh, of course.
To receive their high school diploma.
Yes, we do offer that. Yes. So if a student for some reason does not receive a high school diploma, they can definitely do that with us. We have a program called Adult Dogwood. And so a student can get the equivalent to high school graduation with us.
And would that work for international students as well?
Yes, of course it would. It would just be a little, you would have to talk to the international department about how to get that process started, but it's going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be an English class, a math class for upgrading, and then 3 university level classes, and those would be the equivalent to high school diploma.
Wow. So what would you say to somebody who says, okay, I really want to apply. This college looks awesome, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what I want my final degree to be. Would you accept a student like that who isn't really sure?
Of course we would. Yes.
What would you tell them?
We love those students. So definitely, if you're looking to get started, but you're not 100% sure yet, that is okay. There's not any pressure to know for sure what you want to do or what you want to be. We have some amazing programs at KPU that are called General Studies. So if you were to take something called General Studies, this is for the students who don't know maybe. And so you could take a business class like accounting, maybe you take accounting, or maybe you take an arts class like counseling. Maybe you even take a ceramics class under arts. And then you sort of figure out what it is that makes you excited, gets you interested. Maybe you'll figure out what you want to pursue. So we have lots of students that come in. You can even get a degree in general studies. So you can pick and choose all of the courses that you want and kind of get started in everything that you may or may not like. And then once you figure that out, then you can go in the direction that does interest you. So we have students that sometimes start in general studies and then they figure out, oh, I really like that marketing class. This is what I want to do. So kind of the light goes off at some point, and they can definitely pursue that area, or they can do general studies as a whole if they'd like to.
I love that. And I think that's an awesome opportunity for
Mhm.
homeschoolers as well, because if they're taking these general study classes in high school, then maybe that light bulb can go off a little sooner and then
That's
they
right.
can know what they want to do.
Yeah, that's right, for sure.
So I was wondering if you could share with us how a homeschooler can sign up. Where would they get started?
Yeah, so definitely I can do that. So if you were interested in starting with us at KPU, you can just go to Google and type in KPU, and you'll find our homepage, kpu.ca. In the top corner of our page, you'll see the words apply now. So what you would see there is a link that takes you to something called Education Planner BC. And Education Planner BC is a service that we use as well as other institutions in BC. And so you would start your profile there, create an account, let us know who you are, where you live, where you've gone to high school, or where you are taking courses if you are already taking classes somewhere else. And then there is an option if you are homeschool, you can choose homeschool as your option when you're applying as well. And then you would submit that application after you've picked KPU as your institution of choice and your semester to start and your program. That application goes through to our admissions team, who then would contact you with a student number to help you get that process started. And at any point during those steps, you can always reach out to us in the Future Students Office, and we can help you out with those steps too.
Wonderful. I appreciate that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Before we sign off, I would
Yeah.
love if you could share, maybe for the student or parent that's, it's the junior or senior year of the student and they're so nervous about college. What would you tell somebody in high school they can do to prepare before they apply for college?
I would say do lots of research. So find out what's out there, what might interest you. You can take a look at the different institutions that may offer programs that you're interested in and see what's out there and what they have to offer you. And then I would just say browse through those different institutions' websites and see what programs they have. And then maybe perhaps think about what career. Sometimes we tell students to go backwards. So think about what career you're wanting to do and then what you need for that career. So if you know that you want to be an accountant, then what type of career opportunity do you have if you were to take a certificate or a diploma or a degree with us or anyone else out there? So it's kind of like going backwards and figuring out what interests you and then seeing what you need to prepare yourself.
I love that. That is awesome. That is good advice.
Yeah.
Do you have any do you have any advice specifically for the parents maybe who are helping their child navigate this whole college admissions journey?
Yeah, I do. I'd say, as a parent myself, I'd say do the research too with your with your learner and see what's out there. Ask lots of questions. Ask lots and lots of questions, and then I would say a great idea for parents is to let the student do some of the initiation of the contact. So, if there is a particular school that you're interested in, perhaps have the learner send the email out about asking questions and with their email address. And then that way the learner can share with you if you'd like or if they would like, and you can go about it that way. That way it gives the learner a little bit of independence and that initiates the conversation. Once a student has applied to university, they are considered an adult. And so if they're attending post-secondary, that is the post-secondary is going to usually be contacting and talking to that student and not the parent. So it's a great starting point for the student to get that independence and start those communication.
That's really good advice, especially for helicopter moms.
Yeah, I'm one of those. So
this is a good chance for us to let them go. I love it. That is really good advice.
It's hard. It's so hard, but it does build that independence, and it's a skill that they need to have anyways because they need to know how to talk to their instructors eventually. Right. So as much as I want to take the class with my kid and sit in there and find out what they're doing and how they're doing, you do have to let them go a tiny little bit.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you'd like to leave our viewers with that you want to share?
No, I'm just I'm excited to receive any emails. If you have any interest, for sure, reach out and let me know. And I can help you out with any of the process. And if you have any questions, then just check out our website, see what we've got there. And we've got lots of great things that students can start with. So if you do have questions, you can always reach out.
Well, thank you so much, Sheri. I appreciate your time. Thank you, viewers, for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. And I just want to let you know we're in the last week of our schoolhouseteachers.com spring sale. And you have the opportunity to get a monthly membership lock in a rate of less than $20 a month to homeschool your entire family. So if you head over to schoolhouseteachers.com now before the end of the week, then you can lock in this great deal. So if you're looking for some supplemental materials for the summer or just something that you might want to use next year in the fall, go check it out. And we will see you next time on another Homeschool Live. Bye.
Bye.